UNC ahead in key Trinidad marginals. The April 28th general election is still too close to call and is going down to the wire. However, based on the just released results of a Guardian Media Commission public opinion poll, the main opposition, the United National Congress, UNC, currently has the statistical edge over the incumbent People's National Movement, PNM, in key marginal seats in Trinidad, while the PNM is leading in Tobago. In the last election on August 10, 2020, the two Tobago seats were won by the PNM, while the UNC captured 6 of the swing seats and the PNM 5. Since then, however, the political dynamics in the country have changed and are today being reflected in the results of the independent survey conducted by respected pollster and political scientist Professor Hamid Ghani between April 10th and April 13th in the 11 marginal constituencies, namely Barataria, San Juan, Chaguanas East, Cumuto Manzanilla, La Horquetta, Talparo, Mayaro, Moruga, Tableland, Pointe-à-Pierre, now called Claxton Bay, San Fernando West, St. Joseph, Toco Sangre Grande, and Tunapuna. Views were also canvassed in Tobago on political support and national issues using the same questionnaire methodology over the same 4-day period. Pollster Ghani stopped short of issuing any declarations on the final seat count, but said the survey revealed a general level of dissatisfaction, 61%, among the 1,650 Trinidad respondents drawn from various ethnic backgrounds, with the PNM's performance over the past 10 years in office, as well as uncertainty over its current leadership following the recent prime ministerial transition from Dr. Keith Rowley to Stuart Young. When asked who they find to be more believable, the majority of respondents in Trinidad, 47%, chose the UNC's Kamla Persad Bissessar, who is leading a coalition of interests into the election, over Young, who polled 31% support. The same respondents also said they found Persad Bissessar, 48%, is better for the economy than Young, 32%, with Gary Griffith of the National Transformation Alliance, NTA, and Michaela Pandey of the Patriotic Front, PF, each garnering 2% support on handling the economy. This compares to 47% favorability for Young in Tobago, where he is seen as more believable than THA Chief Secretary Farley Augustine, 36% support, and Progressive Democratic Patriots, PDP leader Watson Duke, 1%, based on the survey conducted there among 530 respondents. Tobagonians surveyed also said they were generally satisfied with the PNM's performance, 61%, and when asked who they were going to vote for in the general election, 47% indicated the PNM, compared to 32% for Augustine's Tobago People's Party, TPP, 9% for Duke's PDP, and 4% for other parties and candidates. Of the remaining respondents, 4% said they wished to keep their vote private, 3% were unsure, and 1% said none. In Trinidad, when asked if the general election were held tomorrow, which party they would vote for, 45% of swing seat respondents said the UNC coalition and 30% the PNM. With the election now a mere week away and a total of 17 political parties in the race for control of the 41 seats in the Red House, it is expected that the outcome will be significantly impacted by vote splitting. In Trinidad, the split vote phenomenon is alive and well, as the combined effect of the support for the Patriotic Front, 7%, and the National Transformation Alliance, 6%, has a 13% voter deviation looming over the heads of both the UNC and the PNM, pollster Ghani said. As regards which of the two major parties they are hurting more, it is difficult to tell. If it is the UNC coalition, then that would mean that they would have to make further inroads into the UNC coalition to hurt their chances. If, however, they are hurting the PNM as part of an anti-UNC vote, then the UNC will be the prime beneficiary of such a vote split. How the actual vote splitting will play out in any of these marginal constituencies cannot be predicted, but any close finishes could be the result of vote splitting one way or another. However, in Tobago, where vote splitting is also at play, Ghani feels it will read down to the PNM's benefit at the end of the day, given the tightness of the race. The poll has a margin of error of plus minus 2.5% for Trinidad, where 5 of the marginals surveyed, Cumuto, Manzanilla, La Horqueta, Talparo, Puente-a-Pierre, San Fernando West, and Toco Sangre Grande, were recently impacted by boundary changes made by the Election and Boundaries Commission. In Tobago, the margin of error is plus minus 4.0% based on recent shifts in political allegiances.